What happened to Russ, bro? On God. It's fucked up what happened to Russ. And Russ got a bad take because of that Lakers team. That's the truth.
Because Russell Westbrook's legacy is not going to be about...
Russell Westbrook snapped, and this time, he didn't hold back. The man literally smashed his phone in pure frustration after hearing that Giannis Antetokounmpo's brother got signed before him. Can you imagine that?
Started with Lakers. Look at his career. As soon as he went to Lakers, I don't want to blame anyone. I don't want to blame LeBron or whatever, but it's hard to play for the Lakers, man.
Why?
If you're playing with someone like LeBron, it's all about LeBron.
Russell Westbrook's wife, Nina, says that he broke his phone after finding out that Alex Antetokounmpo got signed before.
The 2017 MVP, 9-time All-Star, and all-time triple-double king, being passed over like that, it's wild. It all traces back to his roller coaster run with the Lakers. Ever since that turbulent chapter, Westbrook's career has felt like a non-stop free fall. Trades, criticism, benchings, and endless memes.
Malika, Russell Westbrook is signing with the Sacramento Kings. His agent, Jeff Schwartz, tells me it's a one-year, $3.6 million deal. And these are two sides that have been engaged in conversations all off season, every single month, every single week since July. They've been in constant communication. And this is a Kings team that has searched for point.
For a player who once dominated every highlight reel, watching his name pop up in trade rumors more than box scores must sting bad. Picture this, a guaranteed Hall of Famer, one of the most explosive athletes of his generation, now sitting at home, scrolling through updates as role players and two-way signings grab spots before him. Unreal. At 36, Westbrook finally inked a $3.6 million deal with the Sacramento Kings, his 7th team in just 6 years. That's not a comeback. That's survival mode. The same man who once stared down entire defenses now fights just to stay in the league. This is the story of how one of basketball's most electrifying competitors ended up clawing for respect again. And trust me, it's not over yet. LeBron James and the Lakers didn't just move on from Russell Westbrook, they shattered his image. The man once hailed as a walking triple-double was suddenly treated like a liability, and now ex-teammates are finally breaking their silence. They're spilling how locker room tension, ego clashes, and bad rotations turned a dream partnership into a nightmare. And now, this new one-year Kings deal might be Russ's last shot at redemption. His contract? The veteran minimum, just $3.6 million.
Russ, bro. On God. It's fucked up what happened to Russ. And Russ got a bad take because of that Lakers team. That's the truth, bro. That's the truth. You talk to T-Lou did interview with motherfuckers. I love Russ. Ever since Russ left the Lakers, bro, he's been on the minimum, bro. We've never seen this ever. We've never seen a player who's been the MVP, who's impacted the game, who they call him names and tell him he can't shoot, go to the playoffs, shoot 40% with the Clippers the very next year, right? Take a less demeaning role with the Lakers, take a less demeaning role with the Clippers. He's been a sixth man ever since he's left the Lakers. He's a starting point guard in the NBA. He's arguably one of the top 3 point guards to ever play the game. You tell me this man can't get on the team? All because he's passionate? All because he stretches with the team every single fucking practice? All because if it's a team out and he's there all the fucking time? All because if you talk to anyone around the league, Russ is the best teammate I ever had. I talked to Paul George. Hey, Pat, you go love Russ. Austin Reeves, Russell Westbrook, one of the best teammates I ever had. What the fuck are we talking about? Why isn't this man?
For context, a team in China reportedly waved a $14 million offer right in his face, practically begging him to come overseas. That's nearly 4 times the money. But Russ said no, because deep down, he still believes he belongs in the NBA. That's pride, ego, and undying loyalty all mixed into one. He's built different, stubborn maybe, but in the most competitive way possible. He even turned down a $3.5 million player option with Denver, betting on himself in free agency like it was still 2017. But that gamble? It nearly wrecked his entire career. As preseason crept closer and rosters started to fill, Westbrook stayed unsigned, watching from the sidelines as the league kept moving without him. Then came the moment that broke him. Reports say he snapped, smashing his phone when he found out Giannis's little brother, Alex Antetokounmpo, got signed by the Bucks before him.
Why do you think he had such a hard time adjusting when he went to like Houston and Washington and the Clippers? Like, It was kind of a big fall off.
You know what? I think it all started with Lakers. Look at his career. As soon as he went to Lakers, I don't want to blame anyone. I don't want to blame LeBron or whatever, but it's hard to play for the Lakers, man.
Why?
If you're playing with someone like LeBron, it's all about LeBron. And if the season fails, then you need to have some kind of scapegoat. I think that year they picked Russell Westbrook as a scapegoat. Then after that, I mean, look at his career. I do think that, right now it was his 18th year, and this guy, unfortunately, can't even find a team to play right now. It's tough.
So you're saying like becoming the scapegoat got to him mentally and like that affected his game?
Yeah, I think so. Because like people were just calling him some very hard names and some nicknames. I don't even want to repeat it. I feel bad because he got a lot of kids, and I watched one of his interviews because he said, now my kids going to school and they called his kids are like some of the nicknames that the fans used to say, whatever. So, NBA is tough, man. NBA is definitely tough, but he could still play in NBA. It's crazy that he cannot find a team.
I think it was him that when they went to Utah, they were like extremely racist towards him or something like that. Yeah. Was it Russell Westbrook?
It was Russell Westbrook.
So like when you were on the Utah Jazz, was it the same? Did you see that same vibe when you were playing there?
To be honest with you, not. I mean, they were like one of the wildest fans, and they had your back no matter what, and they were like the sixth man. But when I played there, I didn't really have I didn't hear about any kind of racist comments towards other teams,
That's pure humiliation for a man who once averaged a triple-double for 3 straight seasons. Imagine that. The same guy who used to carry entire franchises now being overlooked while bench players and two-way names cash checks. What a fall from glory. Last season with Denver, Russell Westbrook still proved he could hoop for real. He suited up for 75 games, started 36, and averaged 13.3 points, 6.1 assists, 4.9 rebounds, and 1.4 steals while shooting 44.9% from the field. That's not washed. Those are starter numbers. In fact, he even hit 52% on two-pointers, the best mark of his entire career. The man was still efficient, still explosive, still Westbrook. But despite all that, teams kept passing like he'd suddenly forgotten how to play. Executives went ghost, phone calls stopped getting returned, and the silence around his name grew louder with every passing week. For the first time in 18 seasons, the unthinkable was on the table. Westbrook might actually be out of the league. That's when the narrative started to shift. Pat Beverley, of all people, came out swinging, saying, "Russ got a bad take because of that Lakers team." Coming from Pat Bev, that's wild. The man built his career on grit, defense, and trash talk, and yet he was defending Russ. He even called Westbrook the best teammate he ever had. That's not something he throws around lightly. Then came Enes Kanter Freedom, taking things even further. He praised Russ in a way nobody else had the guts to, calling him one of the few players who always kept it real and gave everything on the floor. Suddenly, the league and the fans started rethinking the story they'd been told. Maybe, just maybe, Westbrook wasn't the villain in all this after all. And when you look deeper into what went down in LA, things start making sense. Reports claim it was LeBron James himself who pushed the Lakers to bring in Westbrook, instead of finalizing a deal for Buddy Hield. That one decision changed everything. And the fallout? It still haunts both of them today. Yeah, that's right. This wasn't some random front office gamble. This was LeBron's move. Before the 2021 to 2022 season even tipped off, LeBron James personally wanted Russell Westbrook by his side. The plan sounded unstoppable. Build a new big three, LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Westbrook, a powerhouse trio meant to terrorize the league. Everyone thought they were about to witness a dynasty in motion. But what did they get instead? Chaos, missed playoffs, broken chemistry, and finger-pointing flying in every direction. And when the dream fell apart, who got blamed? Of course, Russell Westbrook. The media turned him into the villain overnight. Things got so ugly that Westbrook and his family started receiving death threats over basketball. Just think about that. The same fans who once cheered him were now sending hate his way like it was sport. It wasn't about hoops anymore. It got dark, personal, and straight up disturbing. In his second season with the Lakers, Russ started only 3 games, yet he still dropped 15.9 points, 7.5 assists, and 6.2 rebounds a night. Solid numbers for a player coming off the bench. But none of it mattered. Coach Frank Vogel benched him. The media mocked him. Every missed shot became a meme, every turnover a headline, every press conference a roast session. And the worst part? LeBron started acting like he wanted Kyrie Irving instead, throwing public shade at the very man he personally pushed the Lakers to sign. That betrayal hit deep. Russ kept it professional, but insiders said you could feel the tension in every game, every timeout, every cold handshake. Analysts said it best. Playing for the Lakers isn't for the faint of heart. In Los Angeles, the spotlight doesn't just shine, it scorches. The pressure, the fans, the non-stop drama. It's a city that'll make or break your legacy in a heartbeat. And for Westbrook, that chapter nearly broke him for good. When fans and media turn on you, they don't hold back. What Russell Westbrook went through wasn't just criticism, it was psychological warfare. The hate went far beyond basketball. Even Enes Kanter Freedom spoke on it, saying, "People were saying some harsh names and nicknames. I don't even want to repeat it." That tells you how vicious it got. We're talking about personal attacks, not just at Russ, but at his family too. Imagine waking up every day knowing millions are rooting for you to fail. That's the world Westbrook had to face. Every game felt like a test, every miss a trending topic. Yet somehow, after that nightmare chapter in LA, Russ found a new start in Denver, and surprisingly, he thrived. Coming off the bench in 145 of his last 216 games, he reinvented himself completely. He became a spark plug, finishing top 10 in 6th Man of the Year voting every season since. He learned to slow down, pick his spots, and make every possession count. No more reckless drives, just calculated chaos. Westbrook mastered the art of efficiency and proved he could still control a game without being the focal point. Stat-wise, he joined elite company, one of only 17 NBA players to average 13.3 points, 6.1 assists, and 4.9 rebounds. That's the same range as active stars and even some MVP candidates. His energy off the bench was electric, the kind that changes the momentum of an entire game. Even at 36 years old, no one in the league played harder, hustled more, or attacked the rim with his kind of raw aggression. But once the playoffs hit, things got rough again. He helped Denver crush the Clippers in round 1, but round 2 against Oklahoma City turned into a nightmare. Westbrook shot just 34.8% from the field, 21.9% from 3, and racked up 18 turnovers to only 17 assists in 160 minutes. The pressure was back on, and the whispers started again. Had Russ finally run out of gas? The Nuggets were outscored by 92 points with Russell Westbrook on the floor. That's the brutal truth. It's the same painful cycle that's followed him for years. Westbrook dominates the regular season, pouring out every drop of sweat, passion, and fire he has. But when the lights shine the brightest, the flaws light up like neon, the turnovers pile up, the shots stop falling, and before you know it, he's the scapegoat again, every time. And that's the curse of Russell Westbrook. Greatness that burns bright until the postseason arrives. For all his historic numbers, insane triple-doubles, and relentless motor, the one thing missing from his resume is that elusive NBA championship ring. He began as the heartbeat of the Oklahoma City Thunder, side by side with Kevin Durant, turning a small market team into a legit powerhouse. In 2012, they went all the way to the NBA Finals, only to fall to LeBron's Miami Heat. After that, OKC never made it back, and that loss marked the start of a haunting pattern. Every playoff collapse since then, whether with KD, LeBron, or Harden, has clung to Russ like a shadow he just can't shake. Fair or not, that's the blemish people won't let go of. He's been branded as the guy who goes full throttle in the regular season but fades under playoff pressure. But is that really fair, or just the easy narrative fans love to repeat? Now, the stats speak for themselves. Sacramento marks his 4th team since 2022 and his 7th in 18 seasons. From a franchise cornerstone to a journeyman veteran, what a wild fall from grace. And now, he's walking straight into the madness of the Sacramento Kings. Their bench lineup is loaded with Russell Westbrook, Malik Monk, and Doug McDermott. 3 unpredictable sparks in one locker room. Chaos? Oh, absolutely. But maybe that's exactly the kind of storm Russ needs to remind the world who he really is. backing up a starting five of Dennis Schroeder, Zach LaVine, Domantas Sabonis, DeMar DeRozan, and Keon Ellis, that's a packed house. Every single one of those guys wants touches, and there's only one basketball. LaVine, DeRozan, and Sabonis all dominate the ball, which means Westbrook's going to have to fight hard just to find his rhythm. It's not going to be easy fitting into that mix. Sure, the Kings needed help badly. They ranked 28th in bench points and 29th in bench assists last season. That's near rock bottom. Their second unit was flat, predictable, and easy to shut down. That's where Westbrook steps in. His energy, playmaking, and intensity could flip that whole dynamic around overnight. He brings chaos, the good kind, the kind that wakes up a sleepy team. But here's the catch. Spacing. LaVine's best when he's got the ball in his hands, not chilling in the corner while Westbrook bulldozes through traffic. Add in multiple non-shooters, and suddenly the paint turns into rush hour traffic. Everyone's bumping, no one's flowing, and the offense can look messy real quick. Still, Sacramento isn't chasing perfect efficiency. They're chasing fire. New GM Perry said it loud and clear. He wants a roster that runs, dives, and hustles until the final whistle. That's pure Westbrook DNA. The Kings aren't betting on stat sheets. They're betting on his heart, grit, and warrior mentality. And love him or hate him, no one can erase what Westbrook's already done. He's still a legend in Oklahoma City, and that's real. During last year's Western Conference semifinals, OKC fans actually cheered for him, even though he was rocking a Denver jersey. That kind of respect doesn't come easy. It's earned through years of blood, sweat, and pure dedication. That's real love. That's loyalty. When you give a city everything you've got, they never forget you. Oklahoma City still rides for Russell Westbrook like he never left, and honestly, he earned that forever respect. Let's not ignore the receipts. 203 triple-doubles, the most in NBA history. 9 All-Star appearances, an MVP award, a scoring title, and an ironclad spot in the Hall of Fame. Those numbers are carved in basketball history. But there's one thing missing, that championship ring. And at 36 years old, playing on a veteran minimum deal with the Kings, that window's closing fast. Pat Beverley summed it up perfectly when he said, "He's a starting point guard in the NBA, one of the top 3 point guards to ever play." But then comes the question that never goes away. Is he still that guy without a ring? Can you really rank him among the all-time greats when every playoff run seems to end in heartbreak? That's the heavy truth hanging over Westbrook's legacy. Time is catching up, and the league he once ruled is now filled with fresh faces, new stars, and different energy. Right now, Russ stands as the face of a fading generation. The 2010s legends holding on for one last shot at glory. Chris Paul is still chasing his elusive ring. Carmelo Anthony walked away without one, and now Russ is in Sacramento fighting for his basketball life. Even with the mileage stacking up, he's still a force of nature. He attacks the rim like a freight train, fearless and explosive. Last season, he took over 40% of his shots at the rim and made 64% of them. That's efficiency most young guards can't touch. When he's locked in, he still slices defenses open, finds cutters, and sparks runs that flip entire games upside down. The fire's still there, and he's not done yet. At this point, every minute counts. Every possession could be Russell Westbrook's final statement. This Kings stint isn't just another chapter in his story. It's the chapter, the one that defines everything. It's his last stand. If he can help Sacramento break through, drag them back into the playoffs, and reignite that fire in the locker room, he might just rewrite how basketball history remembers him. He's got a chance to prove the Lakers didn't break him. They lit the fire that's now fueling his redemption. But let's be honest, if this Kings experiment blows up, that's it. The story shifts from redemption to cautionary tale, a reminder of how brutally fast the NBA can turn on its own legends. One bad run, and fans rewrite your whole legacy overnight. And it's not just about Russ, it's about Sacramento too. The Kings thought their dark days were behind them. They traded away De'Aaron Fox, reshuffled the deck, and hoped new faces would finally spark a real playoff push. Instead, they've got Russell Westbrook, the league's ultimate Hail Mary, the player nobody else would take, signing the smallest deal just to prove he's not done yet. The fan base? Completely split. Some see a warrior, A fearless veteran who can breathe life into this team, set the tone, and show the young guys what heart really looks like. Others see chaos waiting to happen, a ticking time bomb that might not fix anything. But one thing's undeniable. This could be the last time we ever see Russell Westbrook in an NBA uniform. So don't miss what comes next. Hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and share this with someone who still believes in Russ. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Can Westbrook lead the Kings back to the playoffs, or are we watching the end of a Legends road? Stay locked in. We're following every twist, every game, and every headline this season. See you on the next one.